Yo, what is good YouTube? I am Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the Converse All-Star BB Shift CX. Before we get started, if you all enjoy sneaker content like this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, and please hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this one. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the All-Star BB Shift CX features like this multi-directional traction pattern. I would describe it as like almost a radial traction pattern with like a line going through it in various directions to try to give you like that multi-directional coverage. And that pretty much extends into the heel as well. It slightly changes, but it's pretty much the same concept. And as far as traction goes on here, if you're playing on your clean courts, you're not going to have any issues, right? You're going to be able to stop on a dime. You'll be able to make those quick and shifty movements very, very easily. When it comes to dust, though, you will have to wipe. I definitely found myself sliding, and I'm playing on super dusty courts right now. It's just not great conditions for basketball courts at like your local gyms. And yeah, I mean, traction performance on there was just, it's not the best. I never completely slid out or anything like that, but I was definitely sliding to stops, whether I'm like just doing like a little cut, you know, just like trying to plant my foot, whatever. Yeah, my foot would like slide to stop. It wasn't like a big slide, but it was definitely like, you know, I slide maybe like, I don't know, 6 inches or so. And that's obviously not something that you want. So my suggestion would be like, if you are playing on like very dusty courts, this is probably not going to be the best. If you're playing on like moderately dusty to your cleaner courts, I think you should be okay. Just make sure if you do play on dustier courts, wipe, because this thing does pick up dust. And if you don't wipe, the dust will get caked on. Like I see dust even right now, even after wiping. So yeah, just make sure you are keeping up with your wipes, like wipe very consistently, and you should be okay for a little bit until that dust accumulates. So overall traction performance is just okay. Clean courts is fine. Dusty courts, it's not that great. So moving on to the cushion, the All-Star BB Shift CX features a full-length CX foam midsole. And in the forefoot, you also get a 4-foot zoom unit. And honestly, in my opinion, I don't think the cushion is anything special. I would say you do get a little bit of bounce in the heel. You get an adequate amount of protection in the heel. In the forefoot, it was definitely like more responsive feeling. I could barely feel the zoom unit in this shoe, which is actually very surprising. Didn't really feel it at all. Maybe just like a slight little bounce. So, you know, I kind of thought that the cushion setup in here was like disappointing. In my opinion, it really is nothing special. Overall, I would say that this is like a more responsive cushion setup. I was expecting a lot more out of this CX foam, although I had not played in CX foam before, so I had no idea what to expect, but I was not expecting it to feel like this. I was just expecting it to feel a lot more comfortable. But overall, yeah, this is definitely like a core feel and responsive type of cushion setup. So if you do like to feel like pretty quick and shifty, this is probably gonna be for you. But if you don't, and you want like a lot of impact protection, yeah, this is just not it for you. So me personally, it was okay. I just expected a lot more out of this cushion setup. So moving on to the materials, the All-Star BB Shift CX features a full textile upper, and on top of the textile, you do have like these layers of fuse. It basically gives it like a little bit of structure, but also adds like a nice little design element to it. And the materials on here like aren't that bad. I would say they're pretty decent. Obviously they could have been nicer, but for 120 bucks, I'm not going to complain. In terms of the performance, it does get the job done very, very well. One thing I do like about the materials on here though is like this back piece. It's nice and like soft, like you can basically stretch it to like get your shoes on easier, and it doesn't affect any of the support or anything like that, which is actually very, very nice. Moving towards the tongue, you do have like this like neoprene style tongue. You do have like a decent amount of padding as well. So if you do like to crank down your laces, you should be fine. You do actually have like synthetic leather hits on here as well, where the eyelets go. Basically, there's like almost like an inner booty, kind of, but not really. So yeah, I mean, as far as materials go, in terms of the quality, it's not that bad, but in terms of the performance, I do think it gets the job done very, very well. So moving on to the fit, I would say that the BB Shift CX does run true to size. I'm a slightly wide footer, I went true to size, and I felt pretty good. It is maybe slightly narrow up in the toe box area, but but it does break in over time, and now I feel very, very good in the shoe. I didn't really have any dead space in the toe box area. The materials do a pretty good job of lying over the foot pretty nicely, which is actually kind of surprising because this tongue, it's not a half booty upper. This does not have that half booty construction where the tongue is like semi-connected on the sides. This is like a free flopping tongue. But what's awesome is it doesn't really slide around. And I think that's because of the materials they use in here. It is like foam backed with like a stiffer foam. So it didn't have any issues of sliding around or anything, which just, you know, kind of gave the shoe an overall more snug fit, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, overall the fit in here was good. True to size, narrow footers, normal footers, slightly wide footers, true to size. Like wide footers to really wide footers, you probably want to go up a half size. But yeah, overall, I did actually like the fit in the shoe. I thought it was very snug and it felt very, very good. So moving on to the support, personally, I didn't have any issues with the support in the shoe. You do have an internal heel counter, and even though it's a little flimsy at the top, you know, you do have this rigid heel counter down at the bottom, which makes sure that your heel is nice and locked in. You're not going to be shifting around or anything. I didn't have any heel slippage in the shoe either, so the heel containment was very, very good. As far as side-to-side movement on the footbed goes, you're going to be covered there as well. The materials do a great job of making sure your foot's not sliding around. And you also do have these rubber pieces that wrap up onto the uppers of the shoe, and you kind of sit inside of it a little bit, so it's also like a sidewall so you're not sliding over. As far as hard lateral movements go, you're going to be covered there as well. You have a fairly wide base. You're not going to be sliding over on those hard lateral movements or rolling over. So you're going to be fully fine there. And then in terms of torsional rigidity and stability, I'm pretty sure there is some sort of shank in here. This is stiff and rigid, so you're going to be covered there as well. Honestly, like this shoe, it doesn't have like anything like spectacular or like advanced or anything like that, but it does get the job done in terms of the support very, very well. So yeah, overall support in the shoe was good. So the Converse All-Star BB Shift CX retails for $120, and for $120, like, I mean, that's like kind of like a solid price, but I have been playing in a lot of other shoes lately, kind of around that same price point, right? Which heavily outperformed this shoe. I'm not sure if this is gonna be like Shay's shoe for the year. I'm not exactly even sure what he's playing in right now. But overall, like, I just kind of expected more out of this, I guess you could say. I mean, the traction, it looked beastly, but on dust, it does suffer. And this cushion, like, I had no idea what to expect going into it, but it just didn't live up to my expectations. I was just expecting something more special. This just felt very basic to me. So yeah, I mean, $120 though, it's still a solid price. If you are playing on your dustier course, like I said, just to make sure you do wipe pretty often because it does pick up dust. But in terms of like every other aspect of the shoe, I would say it's like good. It does get the job done well. Probably the biggest gripe for me is obviously traction performance on dustier courts and the fact that this midsole, this cushion setup, wasn't as special as I thought it would be. But yeah, $120. Like, if you did want to pick up a pair of these, I'll leave a link for you down in the description box below. But that's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, and please hit that thumbs up button for me. Leave a comment, it really does help me out. Check out these videos over here, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.